Hi, you all just finished a U-Try where you got to find some different roots. And then, of course, you state irrational or not real as needed. So I gave you guys some different ones, and they had different negatives in different spots just to see how well you were paying attention. So the first one, the negative is on the outside, which has no impact on whether it's real or not. It just means that you're going to get a negative answer at the end of this, okay? Then let's deal with the square root of 225. You guys may know this one, but if you don't, what you could always do is just break it apart, okay? So if you break it apart, you might think, well, it ends in a 5. So maybe I should just divide it by 5. So if you do 225 and you divide by 5, you get 45. So we could break it into 5 times 45 if you want to go from there. And then 45 you might know is 9 times 5 or 5 times 9. And 9 can be broken into 3 times 3. So then with our square root, you're just looking for groups of 2 because it's squaring. So we've got a group of 2 5s and we've got a group of 2 3s. So basically we can take out a 5 and we can take out a 3. Okay? And 5 times 3 would be 15. So the square root of 225 is 15. The negative from out front just becomes a negative in our answer. Okay? But yeah, you might already know this one. You might know that 15 squared equals 225. And so then you would get that answer quicker. But if you don't know that perfect square, you can always break your numbers apart. And with square roots, you're looking for groups of 2. With cube roots, you're looking for groups of 3. For fourth roots, you're looking for groups of 4. Okay? So let's move on to the next one. We have the cube root of negative 27. So first off, just wondering if it's real or not. A negative times a negative times a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. Times a negative would give you a negative answer, which is what we're looking for. So what we're going to end up with is a negative times a negative times a negative to give us that negative 27. Okay? And you might be able to do this one in your head. That's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 to get to the 27. Or you may want to break it apart, kind of like what we did with 225. And you got that over to the side. So 27, you might know that that's 3 times 9. And then 9 is 3 times 3. And then you can see that group of 3 3s. Okay? So the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of negative 27 would be negative 3. All right, last one I have for you. It's the fourth root of 81. So let's talk about that negative. So if we have a fourth root, we're looking at 4 things multiplied together to give us an 81. And doesn't have to be a negative 1. There we go. Just wanted a parenthesis. So if you have a negative times a negative, that gives you a positive. Another negative times another negative gives you a positive. And a positive times a positive gives you a positive answer. So no matter how hard I try, I'm not going to get a negative 81. I could get a positive 81, but on a negative with a fourth root, with an even root like that. So this one is not real. So hopefully that helps you guys navigate through these types of problems.